Bees are being developed into Minecraft at an alarming rate. That's right, Minecraft now has bees, the flying insect in the game. This was just released a few hours ago, so we're still trying to learn everything we can about the bees. Here's everything we know so far. We are in 19w34a snapshot. So this is what a nest looks like. It has 2 holes, and then around the sides, there's really the same texture repeated. Along the top, it has that texture, and then along the bottom, it has this texture. So that is what a nest looks like. As you stand next to it, you can kind of hear there's bees inside. That's a chicken. That's not a bee. There you go. They buzz. Bee buzzes. You can also see that in my captions down in the corner near my hand. So this is filled with bees at the moment. If we search the creative inventory for bee, well, we obviously get beetroot and that sort of stuff, but we get a spawn egg. We get the nest, which we are looking at, and we get a hive, which I'm going to cover in a little bit. But of course, bees produce honey. So we got a honeycomb, which I'll tell you how to make, and a bottle of honey. And I think that's it. What do they make? Wax? No wax, and that sort of stuff. So that is what we have from the bees in the creative menu. I'm just going to get these guys started a little bit by planting a ton of flowers near them and spawning a few extra bees. There we go. A bee just popped out of there. So whenever a bee is around a hive that doesn't have a home hive or nest already, they will assign it to themselves, and then they will go out and search for flowers to pollinate. Let's see how this nest over here is doing. So the bees will go very, very far away from the nest in order to pollinate. So we have a nest here, and it looks like we had some bees way over here, and they're just trying to find some flowers. I had one in a different area, and they would go quite a lot of blocks. I would say even outside of like render distance for a mob, so I could not see them anymore. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's a little far. That's not what I remember. But anyway, they'll go out and find these flowers. This little bee here has found a flower and done a little dance on top of it, and you can see that he has these particles falling off of him, and now his texture includes sort of like pollen on his behind. Get it? Get it? It's punny, you know, gets his behind. Anyway, so he has these particles on him, and that's basically what he's going out to find those flowers to do, is he's pollinating the flowers. He's coming back with some pollen to the hive, and then they're going to do some magic inside the hive and make honey. So this hive actually just finished making honey. I was unfortunately in my inventory as it did it. But the bees will go inside, they'll do their thing, like I said, and then they'll come out to find more pollen. And as they just went into it as well. You can hear that audio. Oh, there he goes. He's inside again. So as they, the honey seems to be triggered the moment they leave the hive after they've brought pollen into it, and there is a redstone signal, so we're gonna just break some of this stuff and just add a line of blocks and a comparator outside of the hive, and this will output redstone, and I assume that this redstone is directly correlated to how much honey is in the hive, not how many bees are in the hive. But it looks like as we get up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then there is some type of honey inside of this hive. So we can also hear honey drips. Do you see that in the bottom? I thought that was a slime somewhere, but I guess those are little drips of honey there on the ground. Ugh, sounds like slime. It's nasty. So, and now that you have a hive filled with honey, there are 2 things that you can do with it. Either you can use a glass bottle or some shears to get a type of honey out. There's 2 types of honey right now. There is normal honey in a jar. So if I just right click, there we go. Uh-oh, and they're mad. Oh, I didn't expect them to be mad, actually, to be honest. It looks like they're mad that we stole their honey. But I got a bottle of honey now. Or if that thing is full, which let me go see if this other hive is done making some honey and we can test it out there. No, not yet. We're just gonna patiently wait until they make the honey. There you go. This thing is full again. So you can take shears this time instead of a honey bottle and shear. There we go. And now we get honeycomb. I've gotten 3 honeycomb every single time I've done that. And those are the 2 types of things that you can get out of a hive or a nest. I have a nest right here trying to see what the texture looks like once it's full of honey. So you can drink the honey. It restores 3 of the haunches of food and gives you some pretty good saturation. Honey can be added into the crafting table and will give you 3 sugar as the output of it. So it looks like the bottle of honey, that is just food that you're just going to, drink or whatever. But the honeycomb can be used to make more nests that are actually called hives. So you make the bee hive, which is basically a apiary. Is that what they're called? I'm no bee expert, but this is what you would all obviously have as an artificial home for your bees. And you use 3 honeycomb with any type of plank on the top and bottom to make that. I think if you're going to make these as a farm, your biggest issue is going to be making sure that the bees don't go very far. So you should create sort of a glass enclosure to keep these bees together, because all of these have pollen. They've just traveled so far away from the nest/hive that it's going to take them forever to get back to create the honey. As you can see, the redstone signal works just fine out of the back of a hive. And you can also use a dispenser to dispense the empty bottle into a honey hoarding block, and that will get honey out of it. Now, I don't know if this is a bug with the snapshot, but I can't, as the player, grab honey out of there, but I can dispense a bottle in... Oh, get out of there. I can dispense a bottle into it and get honey out, like, every single time. So, not sure if that is a bug or if that is how that is intended to work. Also, if you fill the dispenser up so that no empty slots are available, it will dispense the honey out of the... It's like a little honey... See, there's some on the ground. It's like a honey dispenser because it doesn't have a way to suck back up the bottle, so it'll always, like, fire it off into the world. Now, honey bottles of honey, are not stackable, but the comb is stackable, so I can have up to 64 of those in one slot. Now we're getting to some of the final details when it comes to the bees. And one is that they will follow you if you have a flower in your hand. So just like with wheat, with sheep and cows, that will follow you, or with chickens, if you hold seeds, then they'll follow you. So bees will follow you if you have a flower in your hand. And also if you can get 2 bees next to each other. So we're going to use these 2 bees right here. They'll follow you. Then they'll land on the ground eventually, and then you can give them a flower, and they will turn on love mode and make a little baby bee. It's so itty bitty. Attacking a bee will turn its eyes red, or attacking its hive if I'm in creative, not creative. Into survival. Bam. They all turn mad. Their eyes turn red. When they actually attack, they'll do this barrel roll and hit you with their stinger, and that one bee that hit me will actually end up dying here because it used its stinger or whatever. You can also see the stinger on its body is missing, and so that bee is going to perish because in normal world, if a bee stings you, it also dies. So eventually, that little guy will go poof, poof, bye-bye. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, poor guy. Oh, man. Do I have a stinger in me anywhere? That'd be funny. It's just like an arrow, but I just have like a little bee butt. Nope, I don't. So they lose their stinger, and then they will die, and they'll obviously get mad at you in a pack. And that is true if you also destroy their hive or their nest. They'll also be super upset about you there. There are a few things that are hidden inside of the game files, which is pretty cool. One being a wax block. So it looks like we will have blocks of the honeycomb wax that we can use in making stuff. Also is crystallized honey. Not sure what that is going to be used for. There you go. Hope you love it. What do you think about them developing bees into the game? Good? Bad? Wish they would have developed something else? This is our first look at 1.15 ahead of Minecraft Live. So I'm pretty excited about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big ol' like. Make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. See you next time. Bye.